Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm Ben, the Service Operations Manager here at Microbyte. Today we'll be talking about third-party apps, whether we should be using the portal versions if provided or on-premise versions. And I'm going to be joined by my colleague, Nick Bruce.
Hello.
So you've been with us for a few years here at Microbyte now, Nick. If you
Yes.
can tell us a little about your role.
Yeah, so 7.5 years, been at Microbyte. I am the service desk and personnel manager, but within that, I'm also one of the senior network administrators here. So I'm doing a lot of tech with the clients, discussing things on site, helping with upgrades, helping with their future plans as well as being just general technical support for them. So yeah, quite a lot.
That's great, thank you. So should we start by defining what Microbyte classify a third-party app?
Yeah, so we typically would define a third party app of something that isn't within our typical realms of Microsoft. If you've got a business specific application that is bespoke to what you do, we would classify it as a third party. It's not something that we are readily already know exactly everything about that system. It's not got oodles of technical help from Microsoft. It's not got all those sort of features in there.
So what kind of apps would you consider third-party then? Are there any that particularly stand out that we generally deal with on a day-to-day perhaps?
Yeah, so obviously with Microbyte, we have lots of different clients in different sectors. Some of them manufacturing, they're going to have applications that will be typically in their warehouse they may be using or their factories on the factory floor. From accounting side of things, Sage is a big one, and that is quite bespoke to a lot of accounting companies. Produce sector, you're going to have applications that will be managing your stock levels, managing your orders, maybe your picking, your packing as well, delivery drivers, all that kind of thing. For around what they do for their bespoke business, really.
Yeah, because they're the main line of business apps as well, we understand that once they stop, it can hold everything up and
Oh,
really
it's
cause
huge.
grief.
Yeah, absolutely, it is huge. If that goes down, that's it. Calls are coming in, and we need to get on that straight away.
So we'd probably recommend if someone was using a third-party line of business app, then we would definitely recommend they have support direct with that manufacturer. That
Hundred
correct?
percent. Yeah. Look, we of course we're going to try our best to know as much as we can about every bit of software that our clients have got on site. But truth be told, there is so much out there that we do need help. And if that is your line of business application and you are completely finished, if that's not working, 100%, we want to be making sure you've got some kind of support contract with that third party so they can give us their help as well. When we get to that stage where we're stuck, we don't know. We need to call on them and we need to get their help in.
I'm just getting visions now of lorries backing up that can't be loaded without invoices and
Yeah,
hundreds of payrolls not being completed on the last of the month. And
absolutely. Yeah, there's guys sat there twiddling their thumbs in the factory floor, waiting for getting things loaded onto the lorries, and they've got no clue what to do. What package is going where? Yeah, absolutely.
so if we can just go over maybe some pros and cons, if we start with locally installed apps, and by that I mean installed into a hosted server, either in Azure or locally within the office of the client. So what would the benefits of that be for them?
Benefits, I mean, it's all on site, so you have got that full control of it. If you've got something that is on site and you can really dig into, okay, this is going to have this much resources, it's going to have this kind of resilience in place, maybe double servers or that kind of thing. Really, you can really customize the setup exactly how you want it. And also with finances, typically once it's been purchased for that first big bulk, that's going to be it for that sort of capital of maybe 6-7 years, maybe 10 years that you might be thinking this is going to be us set now.
So no ongoing license fees then once it's purchased, it's there. And
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, the third party may have its own yearly license fees or something. We don't know, but the actual infrastructure itself, typically, once it's in, it's set, it's done.
yeah, so that's a really good pro for that. Cons this time, I think, of any third-party apps if we do run into any troubles with the application.
If it's on site, then yeah, I mean, power issue, that's it. It's game over. If you have a switch go down or a server go down, it's going to be causing problems. That's quite a bad thing or a downside for having things locally. And when you start looking at those sort of cloud apps and things, that's when that whole situation shifts. And if you're just logging in via a web portal and you have a power issue, if you've got laptops on site, you've got 3G, 5G on your phones, then you can jump onto that and you can get logged into a portal and you're still working, you're still cracking on. Equally as well, if you have a server go down on site, if you've got your router on site is still working away and you still got broadcasting DHCP via that way, you're fine. You know, you can crack on, keep working. So, you know, there's definitely pros to having essentially the infrastructure headache taken away and put into a cloud environment. And if you've got just a click of a login to a portal, there's going to be this back end infrastructure that's in the cloud that's got data center resilience all over the place. That's going to mean that typically that's not going to go down.
And Microbyte, of course, as standard, will always roll out UPSs for the local hardware, a minimum of 2 backups in place at all times as well, disaster recovery plan, multiple store points. So now the clients are using the online portal for their apps. How can this speed up the fix times if they are reporting issues that they're encountering?
So yeah, I mean, like if it's all on prem, then where do you start? You're going to be looking at how that communicates and connects with servers, how it communicates with various different switches, if there is that in place. There's going to be lots of different areas. The actual infrastructure our side, we're going to be then having to check through various different security groups, making sure that we've got all that access, making sure there's no backups running, anything like that. If it is a performance issue like that, if it is in the cloud portal and they just log in via a web login, then we're going to be able to quite quickly ascertain, okay, is this our side or is it their side? And if it's their side, we can immediately get on that and find out. And, when it's sort of like a cloud portal like that and you're logging in with just a logon screen, and typically we found that there's going to be other people who also reported this. So as soon as you get through to their system and say, we're having these problems, they're going to be, yeah, we're aware, we're on it, we're trying to fix it. So, that's all just going to help with getting the resolution in place as fast as it can, really.
Perfect. And then we can always, on the client's behalf, we can always look for a status page for the portal as well, maybe provide them with a link for next time, should they have any further issues.
Absolutely, yeah. Status pages are becoming more and more common all over the place. And yeah, if not, we've even managed to find places like X, formerly Twitter, would have little things that will pop up and little status reports from various different providers. So yeah, there's always something going on. There's always communication out there that gives us that we can then provide to our clients.
So sticking with the portals and the logins for the third-party apps, how do we feel about scalability with those?
Much better. Like, yeah, if you've got something on-prem and we have, which would be great, for our clients, they're growing with them, we're growing. If they've just come around and said we've got another 20 users coming on board, we then immediately got to think, okay, resources. Can we handle that? Can the applications handle that? Do we need to look at increasing performance? Is that their scope in the hosts, in the data store, to increase all that sort of infrastructure to allow it to happen? If it's a cloud app that you log into, no problem. Fill your boots. Go ahead. It's not going to be something that's going to be slowing down this new venture that they've got another 20 people on, and it's not going to slow anything down from a support point of view.
So what's the answer then? Is it on-prem apps or is it cloud-based provided portals?
So it honestly depends. It just all depends. It's if you've got the infrastructure on site and that's the way that the cash flow works, and you want to have all that on site, and even for compliance reasons, you may want to have all the data stored locally. Then that's what works. If a cloud portal works and just logging in that way works for your business, especially if you've got lots of remote users all over the place, then yeah, that can also work. It just honestly depends on the business.
Excellent. And with ISO coming in quite hard now and Cyber Essentials, a lot more people signing up to that, then I guess, compliance is a perfect reason for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much more to consider now.
Great. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for watching today, everybody. Thanks to Nick for joining me.
Thank you.
If you have any questions or comments, then please do leave them down below and we'll get back to you. If you're not a subscriber already, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the alerts, and you can see when we've got some new content for you. Take care.